voice is low, slow, tense. You are alone in a forest at midnight.
A slow, quiet breath.
And it's not, a normal forest with trails. This is ancient, vast. There's no light. The trees are so thick that the moon, even if it's full, it just can't get through. You're just surrounded by this crushing dark. You can maybe see, 10 feet? Every shadow could be a tree, or, it could be something else.
And you know you're not alone.
You know it. Deep in your bones, it's the little things. A broken branch, but it's snapped clean, at shoulder height.
Not an animal.
No, and there's a patch of moss that's been disturbed, like someone stopped right there. And then you see it, a boot print. Faint, but it's there. Something is moving through the dark, just like you.
And this is the part that
it
just strips everything away. You can't know what they're thinking. You can't know if they're a friend or an enemy or if they even have concepts like that.
There's no data, just silence, calculated silence.
So you move differently. Every step is planned. You don't make a sound. You don't cough. And you would never, ever do the stupidest thing imaginable.
Which is call out hello.
Right, because the second you do that,
Yeah.
you've given away everything. Your position,
Right.
your existence. You've told every predator out there, here I am.
Everything that survives here knows the first rule. Silence is life.
Yeah.
And then you see it, just a flicker, a shift in the shadows about 30 feet away,
Yeah.
and your finger is on the trigger. The question just hits you, do you fire?
You have no proof.
Okay.
It could be nothing, the wind.
It could be someone just as scared as you are.
But here's the logic, the cold, awful math of it. If that shadow is a threat and you wait, even for a second, just to be sure,
You're already dead.
you're already dead. Waiting for certainty is suicide in a place like this. So the only rational move, the only thing that game theory says you should do is eliminate the potential threat right now.
So you fire. Not because you're aggressive,
Yeah.
not because you're evil, but because you want to survive. And in the dark, where you can't talk and you can't trust, you shoot first, always.
That logic, it's so scripting. It just reduces everything down to a zero-sum game. It's not a moral choice. It's just the efficient path to staying alive. And that makes way too much sense.
And that right there, you see, that is the entire horrifying idea behind the dark forest theory. That exact calculus is what Lou Sixon argues is governing the whole silent universe.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Because moving from a forest to the entire galaxy is a huge leap. But the logic, it scales up in a terrifying way.
It's the most devastating answer to the Fermi Paradox I've ever heard. And the paradox is simple, right? The universe should be loud.
It should be a party. I mean, 400 billion stars in our galaxy alone, countless planets in the habitable zone.
And the universe is old, 13.8 billion years. There should have been civilizations that are millions, maybe billions of years older than us.
You should be seeing them everywhere. Huge structures like Dyson spheres, harnessing entire stars.
Yeah, megastructures, obvious, unmistakable signs of intelligence, and signals. Loud, clear, radio beacons everywhere, a cosmic chorus.
But instead, what do we get?
Nothing, just the eerie, horrifying silence. And the dark forest theory says it knows why. It all comes from two basic axioms, two fundamental rules about life in the cosmos.
Axiom 1 is the evolutionary imperative. Survival is the absolute primary need of any civilization.
And not just like individual survival, we're talking species level, long term.
Right.
It has to come before everything else, before art, before philosophy, before cooperation.
And it's the knife twist. Any civilization that evolves to be, trusting or altruistic, it just gets wiped out. The universe doesn't reward being nice in this model.
No, it rewards paranoia. The
Right.
ones who survive are the ones who put self-preservation above all else. So the universe itself kind of filters out the nice guys.
Which means any civilization capable of crossing the stars has already passed that brutal test.
Yeah.
We have to assume they're cold, calculating survivors.
And then you add axiom 2, the thermodynamic certainty.
Which is just a fancy way of saying resources are finite. Even on the scale of a galaxy, there's only so much matter, so much energy to go around.
And at the same time, what do successful civilizations do? They grow, and they consume, exponentially.
We see it in our own history. You find a new energy source, you just use more faster. You find new land, you fill it up. There's no natural break on that desire to expand.
So what's the inevitable result?
Conflict. It's not a choice, it's just physics.
Yeah.
If you're growing and your neighbor is growing, eventually you're going to want the same star system, the same resources.
So you've got a universe filled with paranoid survivors who are all forced to compete for limited resources, and that leads to this trap, the chain of suspicion.
Okay, let's run the thought experiment. Two civilizations, A and B. They detect each other, 50 light years apart.
Okay, so as Civilization A, let's say I'm benevolent. I mean, maybe I try to find a loophole. I send a message saying, hey, we've figured out perfect energy recycling. We don't need to expand. We're not a threat. Can't that solve it?
That just makes you a bigger threat? Because if you're that technologically advanced, your potential for threat is even higher.
Yeah.
But let's just stick with the basic fear. You, as A, have to think, B seems nice. But can I be sure? What about in 1,000 years? What if their culture changes?
I can't be sure. So hesitation is a risk, a huge one.
It's an existential risk, so you have to treat B as a potential threat. It's the only safe move. But here's where the loop closes.
Okay.
You then realize, even if B is peaceful right now, they're doing this exact same calculation about me. They see me and they fear me. So B might attack me preemptively.
Not out of malice, but out of self-defense, because they're afraid of my potential first strike.
Exactly. So now you, Civilization A, have to launch a preemptive strike to counter B's potential preemptive strike, which B was only considering because they feared your potential first strike.
It's an infinite mirror. Both sides are forced into the same conclusion. The only winning move is to strike first.
Silently. It's the prisoner's dilemma, but the stakes are total extinction. And then you layer on top of that the most terrifying part, the acceleration factor.
The technology explosion.
Right. The communication delay is decades, centuries. So you detect Civilization B today, and maybe they're just figuring out radio. They seem primitive.
But by the time you could send a ship to check on them, even at near light speed.
They could be a Type 2 civilization.
Yeah.
Unstoppable. The civilization that's no threat today could be a galaxy-ending monster by the time you can react.
Yeah.
You can't wait. The window to act is right now.
So the only rational move is genocide, based purely on logic and survival.
The universe, in this theory, isn't empty. It's a crowded, dark forest. And every civilization is a hunter with their weapon drawn, trying desperately to stay hidden. The moment you make a sound, you become the target.
This is where it gets really uncomfortable for us, because we have to face the fact that we haven't been silent.
No, we've been screaming.
For a century, we've basically been writing a species-level suicide note and signing it with radio waves.
It started in the 1930s, right? High-powered radio, then TV in the 50s. And those signals, they don't just stop, they go out forever at the speed of light.
Creating this radiosphere around us. It's about 100 light years across by now. It's already passed through thousands of star systems.
Any civilization in that bubble with even, like, 1960s Earth technology could know something unnatural is happening here.
But there's a key distinction the theory makes, right? The difference between a leak and a signal.
Yeah, and this is important. Our old TV shows, that's leakage. It's faint. It gets weaker the farther it goes.
Yeah.
You need a huge antenna and a lot of effort to even notice it over the background hits of the universe.
So a leak can be missed. It's not a clear, we are here. But then we started sending signals, deliberate beacons.
This is where our naivety it becomes criminal. The Pioneer probes in the early 70s.
Pioneer 10 and 11, they both carried a golden plaque.
Right, with a drawing of a man and a woman waving.
And the structure of our solar system.
And our location, a map showing where Earth is relative to 14 pulsars.
Pulsars are like cosmic lighthouses. Their timing is super precise. Anyone could use that data to triangulate our exact position, our home star. But wait, it gets so much worse. Voyager, 1977. The Golden Records.
Yeah, greetings in 55 languages, music from back to Chuck Berry. It was this beautiful, optimistic gesture.
But on the cover of the record,
oh no,
they put a map, a literal, precise, binary encoded star chart showing how to find us.
Wait, hold on. They sent them a map. We sent a map to our house.
A literal map with coordinates. It's like a child posting their home address on the darkest corner of the internet and just hoping everyone there is friendly.
That's insane. It's terminally stupid. A civilization that survived for millions of years by hiding would see that, and they wouldn't think how hopeful. They'd think, how are they still alive? They'd see us as an easy, noisy target.
And even that wasn't enough for us. Then we started Mediae, messaging extraterrestrial intelligence.
This is different. This isn't leakage. This is taking a megaphone, aiming it at a specific star, and shouting as loud as we can.
Exactly. The Arecibo message in 1974. We beamed a message with our math, our DNA, our population, to a star cluster 25,000 light years away.
And more recently, a simple response in 2017, aimed at a star just 12.4 light years away. That's our next door neighbor.
We're waving a giant flag in front of what could be the universe's most efficient predators.
And people knew this was a bad idea. Stephen Hawking warned about it. He said, if aliens visit, the outcome would be like Columbus landing in America, which was not great for the Native Americans.
So the consequences. If this theory is correct, we've already triggered the response. The signal may have already been received, a decision made, and the weapon is already on its way.
And the weapon isn't a fleet of ships. It's much cleaner, much more terrifying. It's called a relativistic kill vehicle, an RKV.
Explain this, because the physics is what makes it so horrifying.
Okay, so you take an object, maybe the size of a refrigerator, doesn't need any explosives. You just accelerate it to an extreme fraction of the speed of light. Let's say 90%, 0.9 c.
No.
At that speed, the kinetic energy it carries it's astronomical. E equals mc squared. It would have more energy than all the nuclear weapons on Earth combined. It would hit the planet like a massive asteroid.
An impact that would just sterilize the surface, boil the oceans, wipe the slate clean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the worst part is the speed. At 0.9 c, you would have virtually no warning. If we spotted it when it was past Mars, we'd have maybe a minute.
1 minute.
1 minute to realize that everything is about to end. And in that last minute, humanity would finally understand the ultimate lesson of the dark forest.
Only the dead make noise.
So,
Yeah.
if the universe is so full of life, why is it so quiet?
The theory says it's not quiet because it's empty. It's quiet because everyone is hiding.
The galaxy is teeming with civilizations, but they're all holding their breath.
We always assume that, an advanced civilization would be obvious. They'd build Dyson spheres, these huge things around their stars. But that's like putting up a giant neon sign in the dark forest.
Visibility is suicide. So that changes how you think about the Great Filter.
Yeah, we always thought the filter was something that kills civilizations. Nuclear war, climate change, whatever.
But what if the Great Filter is voluntary? What if the filter is just learning the lesson? The smart civilizations don't go extinct. They go dark.
They choose to hide.
They realize the danger. They see the ruins of some noisy neighbor who didn't get it, and they learn. The only way to survive is to achieve perfect stealth.
So what does that even look like? How do you hide an entire civilization?
Well, first, no more radio. All your communication has to be internal, contained. Maybe you use quantum entanglement. Instant, untraceable data transfer. No energy leaking out into space.
And your buildings, your cities, your power plants.
You can't have megastructures floating in space. They give off heat. You'd have to move underground, deep inside planets. Or maybe you'd move your whole civilization out to the Oort cloud, where it's cold and dark and far from any prying eyes.
You'd become a technological ghost. You'd make your solar system look completely natural, uninhabited.
And the civilizations that didn't learn, the ones like us who set out maps and greetings,
They become the cautionary tales, or the silent, ruined planets that prove the rule to everyone else.
So the universe isn't empty. It's packed. It's full of millions of paranoid hunters, all in the dark, all watching, all listening. And they're not looking for friends.
They're waiting for targets.
And when they find one, the strike is silent, it's fast, and it leaves no trace. The hunter just melts back into the darkness, and the silence continues.
And we have been so loud.
Okay, we have to end with the ultimate question here, the one that this whole deep dive leads to. We have to really sit with this choice. The scenario. Let's make it real. Tomorrow morning, 3:47 a.m. GMT. All of our radio telescopes, all at once, they get a signal. And it's not noise, it's structured, it's unmistakable. Prime numbers, pi. The Fibonacci sequence.
It's from a star system 25 light years away, a system we know has a planet in the habitable zone. This is it, the moment we've dreamed of. Proof we're not alone.
But according to this logic, it's also the moment the executioner's clock starts ticking.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
My gut, my hope, says we have to respond. We have to. If we just accept this dark logic, we're condemning ourselves to an eternity of isolation. We're throwing away the one chance we might ever get to transcend what we are.
Transcend into what?
Into something better. I mean, think about it. The technology, the medicine, the answers to the biggest questions. It could be salvation. How can you not take that chance?
Because the price of being wrong is everything. It is the extinction of every living thing on this planet. Every person, every animal, every piece of art, every memory. Gone. Forever. You cannot gamble with those stakes. The only responsible choice is silence. Immediate, permanent, global silence.
But that's its own kind of death, isn't it? A slow, lonely one. We'd become prisoners on our own world, forever looking up at the sky and wondering what we sacrificed out of fear. What if accepting that isolation is the great filter? What if that's how species really die? By giving up.
Okay, but let's play this out. If they are benevolent, why are they broadcasting? That's the first question that damns them. A truly wise, truly advanced civilization would know the rules of the forest. They would never shout like that.
So what are they?
They are one of two things. Either they're as naive as we are, which means they're about to be destroyed by a real predator and we should stay far away, or they're the predator and the signal is bait. It's a hunter trying to flesh out game. In either case, answering is a death sentence.
You're assuming the logic is unbreakable. What if they've found a way past it? A third axiom. What if they've developed a way to prove they're not a threat? A signal that can't be fake, that shows they are stable, non-expanding, peaceful. If we stay silent, we throw away that possibility. We choose the cave forever.
And I have to ask you, can you really stake the existence of every child on Earth on a philosophical what if? Paranoia is the winning strategy. It's what keeps you alive in the dark. The moment we reply, we confirm our exact location. We turn our faint leak into a bright, shining beacon. We tell them, the target you suspected is real, and here it is. I just can't vote for annihilation based on the hope that they're nice.
Okay, here's a counter thought. What if silence is seen as an act of hostility? They send this incredible message of peace and intelligence, and we respond by immediately going dark. Every radio, every satellite, everything just goes dead. They know we heard them. What if they interpret that sudden blackout as us preparing for war, as us arming our own weapons? Our silence doesn't prove we're peaceful. It might just make us look suspicious and secretive. It might provoke the very attack we're trying to avoid.
That's a brilliant and terrifying point. Sudden silence is, in game theory, a sign of gathering strength. So
yeah,
maybe the answer isn't yes or no.
No.
Maybe it's somewhere in the middle. We don't send back a map and an invitation to dinner.
right.
We send back something. Careful. A highly encrypted signal that just acknowledges receipt. Something that proves our intelligence but gives away nothing about our location or our capabilities. We say, message received, and then we go dark and spend the next 50 years preparing our defenses.
That's a good compromise. It buys us time. It shows we're not just primitives, but it's still a reply. It's still confirming we're here. We're still lighting that match in the forest, even if it's a small one. It still feels like a massive risk.
And that's the paralyzing truth of it all, isn't it? We will never, ever know which choice was the right one until it's far too late to change it.
If we answer and they're friendly, we've saved humanity. If we answer and they're hostile, we've doomed it. We'll have maybe a minute to regret our optimism.
And if we stay silent and they were hostile, we survive because we hid. But if they were friendly, we spend the rest of history wondering if we threw away paradise out of cowardice. We survive, but we're forever alone, trapped by our own fear.
So we're forced to weigh this absolute existential loneliness against absolute existential dread. Do you light a fire hoping for a friend but risking death? Or do you stay in the freezing dark forever just to be safe?
It's radical optimism versus guaranteed survival, isolation or annihilation. The choice itself is the trap.
The final chilling thought of the dark forest is that the universe, it punishes curiosity and it rewards fear. The survivors are just the ones who learn to be quiet. We've been shouting, and now maybe we're just...
Always very quiet, slow, tense, almost a whisper. The hunters are waiting.